I'm Tandy. Today we're going to be playing some Rakdos Vampires. This is a deck that was originally taken to victory by, I believe it's Team Channel Fireball, but it was Seth Manfield, a number of other powerful mages, including Sam Pardee in the top 8, playing the same deck. Slightly different 75, but same concept. And it has pretty quickly replaced Rakdos midrange as the de facto midrange deck in Pioneer. The reason why it's able to do that is because it has a 3-drop card outside of Fable of the Mirrorbreaker that is absolutely terrifying. And when I say terrifying, I don't mean like, oh, my opponent played, I don't know, Old Growth Troll or whatever. I mean that the game can be over on turn 3 in a way that most decks can't really fight back from. Sorin and Pierce Bloodlorn is the card. This 3-cost Planeswalker allows you to cheat in a large vampire, and we've seen people try to cheese this with things like Galta and Maverin. There's a 7-drop, I think it's Xander from New Capenna, to just basically cheat in a vampire. But the difference is the Vein Ripper is significantly better than either of those two other cards because of its ward ability and because of its static effect. And the body on it, 6-cost, 6/5 flyer, means your opponent's not going to be blocking it very well. When they do block it, their thing dies, and you gain 2 life and they lose 2 life. And then whenever they try to kill it, they have to sacrifice a creature in addition to whatever else they're doing. So they can't just have removal spells. They have to have a removal spell and a creature. And then you have to not have killed all their creatures. There's a lot to love about Vein Ripper in this deck. We can cast it relatively easily, getting up to 6 mana. We can ramp into it with Fable the Mirrorbreaker, treasure tokens. We can cheat and play with Sorin. And doing any of those things ultimately will end the game most of the time. The rest of the deck is most things that you've come to know and love from Rakdos midrange. That's Thoughtseize, Fatal Push in the 1-drop slot. These are your most potent forms of interaction in the format because they are essentially the most efficient at what they do. You know, any more mana added to Thoughtseize and it would be bad. Any ability taken away from it and it becomes like a Duress. It becomes like a, I don't know, a million other glistening oil thing, whatever it's called. There's like tons of 1-cost discard effects that are significantly worse than Thoughtseize, but Thoughtseize being able to take anything that's not land makes it ideal, and it makes it extremely frustrating to play against because your opponent is able to strip you down to like your bare bones, and they can take the card that is most important to your draw. It doesn't even have to be the most important card to your deck. It's the most important card to your draw, which forces you to stumble in the early turns, which gives them time to get online, get their fables going. Sorin and Pierce Bloodlord online. A lot to love about Thoughtseize, lots to loathe about Thoughtseize playing against it. Very frustrating sometimes. Fatal Push is the other side of that coin, able to answer up to a 4-drop creature with relative ease for just 1 mana. Most of the time is killing 1s and 2-drops to buy you time, but later in the game, when you get blood tokens from Bloodtithe Harvester, a couple of other things you can do, treasure tokens from Fable attacks. These are all ways to turn on the addition of Revolt on Fatal Push. Makes it very easy for this deck to kill larger things. One of the weaknesses of most decks in Pioneer that would want to play Fatal Push is that they actually have trouble turning on Revolt sometimes. And this deck doesn't really because of the Harvester and some of the other token generators. The Sword Minus ability is an X factor for Rakdos mid. It's something they didn't really have before. Fable the Mirrorbreaker lets you like lean into the longer games. Sorin lets you really lean into the shorter games and use your Bloodtithe Harvester's 3/2 stats much more aggressively. I really like that Sorin can come down and work with a number of other cards in your deck. It's not just a one-trick pony. It's not just a minus put a Vein Ripper into play. The pluses to give +1/+1 counter and lifelink and death touch are excellent. The plus to sack a vampire to throw it at your opponent or one of their creatures is ridiculous. This is the reason why we're playing Dust Legion Zealot. We got 3 copies of this. This will kind of bridge the gap. Comes down, deals us a damage, but we have another body for Sorin, either to chump block to protect it, or to throw it at something to kill it, or to just put some counters on it. So another reason why we're playing 4 copies of Mutavault. Mutavault, often awkward in a deck with a lot of heavy pips in terms of casting things. Like you would normally see Mutavault alongside a black-red 2-drop, but both the cards are so strong in the deck that you kind of just smush them together and hope that everything works out. Sideboard. Oh, sorry, one more card. The newest addition to the deck over Shield Red is Archfiend of the Dross. This is just an extremely efficient 4-drop. I have literally never seen anyone die to their own oil counters. Normally, when cards like this get played, you see occasionally they're unable to close the game, but the way that this card is designed, that almost never happens. And the reason why it almost never happens is because no one really removes oil counters from anything, and it almost always will kill your opponent before it loses all the counters, because your opponent can't even block it that well due to the static effect that's very similar to the Vein Ripper static effect. And whenever an opponent, a creature an opponent controls dies, they lose 2 life. Sideboard, 3 copies of Path of Peril. This is going to be your cheap sweeper against most of the aggressive decks like Boros Convoke. 2 Lily the Veil. This can help out against hexproof creatures, but can come in against things like Lotus Field and chew up their hand. Whenever an opponent can't pressure your life total, Lily gets a lot better. 2 more Duress to complement the 1 in the main and the 4 Thoughtseize. Whenever Fatal Push is bad, we like to board in a lot of Duress. 1 Ashiok to go with 4 copies of Leyline of the Void as your anti-graveyard, but Ashiok also stops deck searching. This is becoming more popular in the main deck and sideboard of Is It Phoenix, because of the self-mill ability and because it exiles your opponent's stuff, and it keeps them from being able to search. We're using mostly just the can't search and graveyard exile. 2 copies of Damping Sphere for Lotus Field. 1 Grafdigger's Cage for graveyard strategies. It's also good against Amalia. And then the 4 ley lines. A lot of overlap in terms of what the abilities are from the sideboard cards, but I think that that's good because you want like 5 or 6 of any type of effect, and you like them to be a little bit spread out in what they do, so you don't draw too many of the same card, and it's bad in multiples. Leyline of the Void, bad in multiples, but Leyline of the Void plus an Ashiok can help, cover 2 bases or whatever in some spots. This is Rakdos Vampires Let's Play League. I will keep this one, and we'll just put Vein Ripper back, I guess. It's unfortunate because we could draw Sorin, but there's a chance that we just don't and die. If I knew the matchup, we would have put back Fatal Push. We'll probably just discard it to Blood Token. Nice, Kale. What was your win with? Alright, no Cavernous Souls, so we're likely going to have one of these countered by something. We're just going to start casting creatures until our opponent dies or we lose. One of the two. D Mills, thanks for 53 months. You know how much? Goddamn. I got some fucking old school fans in the chat today. Thank you so much. Alright, Harvesta. Let's attack. I have a feeling they have a Dovin's Veto at the ready, but they're also probably going to blow up my spot. So let's go for another Bloodtithe Harvester, wait for him to Wrath, and we'll just discard Fatal Push to the Blood Token. 53 months, man. That's a long time. I appreciate you, man. Been around since we started doing full-time streaming, I believe. That was about 4 or 5 years ago, 2019. Alright, 4 mana. Probably going to be the Wandering Emperor. I don't really need the Fatal Push. Alright, let's attack and see what they do. I'll probably just play Archfiend. I could have played it pre-combat. Oh, man. Okay, so they're going to Deluge. So let's go for a Fable. We'll just play like Archfiend or something after they... We got to play something, because if they have a counterspell, we want them to burn it. Yeah, nice. So that we don't want them to Deluge. We want them to Wrath so that we can play Archfiend. We could play Archfiend pre-combat. In case they had Wandering Emperor, they would minus instead of... Or -2 instead. Alright, here's Lockdown. Now we hope that our Archfiend doesn't get countered by Make Disappear or similar. You miss dominating the Star City circuit? I mean, yeah. I miss it existing in its old form, for sure. The new stuff is fun. I mean, I went to play some Lorcana. I played a 5K last weekend. Not this past weekend, but the one in Philly. I had a great time. I don't know. Alright. Send. Let's send. See what happens. A Wandering Emperor. Okay, so we'll play Fable Blood Tithe here. Now that they're tapped out. You have to take a damage, but that's okay. And have you played much Standard lately? I haven't played in about 3 weeks, but I did play a ton of Boros Convoke, and I've been keeping up with it. I've been trying. You've been having Blast, but feels like the best in a long time. I agree. I actually been having a ton of fun playing Standard. All right, so we get to attack with both, and then play Vein Ripper. We don't get to. Let's see. I guess I'll discard Black Cleave only. Okay. Now I want to Thoughtseize. We might fire up the Meadwall and attack with all of them. No more lies. I am fine to pay. Memory Delusion response. Weird. I feel like maybe his Delusion response was better, but maybe not. Now I can Harvester the token so I can cleanly attack with the Goblin. They're 100% going to trade with one of them, and I can basically remove their ability to choose. So just 2 more Wandering Emperor. Alright, so we know they have Pathway, Hallowed Moonlight, Wandering Emperor. Hallowed Moonlight only stops non-tokens, right? No, this does stop tokens too. So they can Hallowed Moonlight my Fable. I don't want them. I want them to have to -2, so I'm going to play the Vein Ripper pre-combat. Let's see if they go for the Hallowed. Maybe I should have taken that over the second Wandering Emperor. I'm going to hold on to the Blood Crypt to pitch to the Blood Token. Alright, so now if they play the Wandering Emperor, they can minus and gain 2, but if they minus to block, they take 4. Alright, seems like they're not going to do anything. They're just going to pop Clue or make a castle. Maybe make castle so they have something for Vein Ripper, but then we might just beat them to death with a Meter Vault. Why is pre-combat Ripper good there? I just explained. It makes it so they can't make a token with Wandering Emperor and block. They have to -2 to exile and gain life, or else they just take 4 damage. Been playing Sultai Reanimator Standard, such a sleeper deck. Went 3-2 at Apex this past weekend with it. Could have made top 8, but hit a fat punt in one of my games. The punts happen. Field of Rune's a pretty gross pickup. Turning off my Mutavault. Turn off auto yield. If they go for Field of Rune on Mutavault, at least I can activate it, and then they take 2 damage. So we need to make sure that we don't got no auto yields on. How did you do in the Lorcana tourney? I was 5-1 playing for top 8 in round 7. If I won, I would be able to draw the last round. I lost a very, very close matchup. Close match, not close matchup. Wandering Emperor main phase. Very weird. But I guess they're going to make a 2-2 and then kill the Vein Ripper. I don't understand why they main phased it. Alright, so they go to kill it, and response will activate. Well, they didn't kill Vein Ripper. I honestly don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening. I can just play Sorin, and then the Vein Ripper is lethal on its own with the minus. Block then get lost is the plan? Maybe. Alright, let's play Sorin. We can threaten lethal with the plus, right? Because we can sack the Vein Ripper to itself. And then if they have to sack the Samurai before. Blood first? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should have shocked to play around the the counter unless they paid 3. Alright, let's see if they have a way to gain life here at cheeky instant speed. They don't. They counter their death. That's kind of what I was thinking as well. Just like force them to have the thing there. Alright, so we definitely want Duresses. Liliana Odavale. And do they have searches? Not really. So these 4 and the fatal pushes can come out. I'm gonna leave in Bitter Triumph. It kills planeswalkers, right? And also, if they have Shark or something, you want like a couple of answers. You just don't want fatal push really. We got a mulligan again. We have the combo, but only 1 land again. Huh. Okay. We kind of have to draw another land anyway. I think I'm just gonna play Mutable and start attacking on 2. I could have March or something, so I might not. Let's go Vampire. Tower Stone's is so strong, man. I think I'm gonna Fable first. We can Sorin next turn. No matter what I'm casting there, it's getting countered. And I think the Sorin is just slightly better because of the Vein Ripper. It's a lot of lands in a row. Should have played Mutavaults. That way I could maybe attack with both Mutavaults next turn. I almost put back a land early, but I thought the Cavern and the Mutavaults would both be good. I haven't even been able to play my second Mutavault. It's funny. Alright, so let's play... Let's see. The one on top is the new one. So let's just make sure that's the one we're tapping. See if they counter this one as well. Alright, I'm gonna plus and put a counter on the Dust Legion. I could have minus to put in Vein Ripper. But I can just cast it next turn. I think I'm just gonna get aggressive. I know that the Vein Ripper can come down at any point, and I mostly just want to make it after they play a Wrath or burn some of the removal. They might have Howl Moonlight E minus. Yeah, that's certainly true. And they can make a 2/2 and block here. If they Hollow Moonlight, I can also just choose not to. Because I minus and then they have to react and then I just put it into play. Might just plus the Sorin, throw the Dust Legion at the Wandering Emperor, but seems like a pretty weak play when I can just put a counter and threaten it. Maybe I should have put a counter on the Mutavault. Get lost? Sure, sure. Alright, let's draw a spell. That's a spell, I guess. Map. If it's a land, we'll map on the Dust Legion again. Top card is Thoughtseize. I think Graveyard. Alright, we're gonna send at the Wandering Emperor, not with the Mutavault. Alright, well, next turn we'll start playing Vein Rippers and hope that they're good enough, and we have Cavernous Soul and Vampire. Can't be countered. These are the only Vein Rippers I see on Magic Online, because for some reason I think it's the only Vein Rippers available from the borrow services. And I think it's because you just open these instead of the regular ones in treasure chests more often. I don't really know how that works. Or maybe just the booster packs are weird now. But I just see this Vein Ripper way, like, maybe 10x more than the other one. And I really don't like this one because it's white all around the card. Alright, they killed the Mutavault instead of the Cavern. It's good news. Maybe they're going to Wrath here, but they can also just, like, kill it and sack. They did just Deluge, so they probably have a thing. Verdict, sure, sure. So they take 4. But now I just get to play another Vein Ripper. And they have to... They didn't have a spot removal last turn, and they had to Wrath, so... Regular art is sick, I agree. It's cool. We could play Bitter Triumphs, but I want to get this down. They just might not have the answer to it. Alright, I'm going to attack face. If they go to kill the Vein Ripper, I can kill the Samurai in response. This is fine. Alright, so we'll pay 3 life. Kill the Samurai. And if they have a counterspell, we can just kill it again. So they need 2 counterspells here for 3 mana. Decide to be the bad guys? I mean, what do you want from me, huh? Ha! They even had another thing. Alright, so we'll go for pay 3 life again. So they're gonna go to 2, and so if they kill the Vein Ripper, they die. And then we have this other Vein Ripper as well. Yeah, you like to wait usually to kill the tokens there, I think. But now they're at 2, and we have Vein Ripper, so they have to have another. Even another Wandering Emperor doesn't do it. Has to be like kill your thing, gain life. Another 1-lander. This is all my openers so far. I've had 1 lands. I actually thought 26 land might be better anyway. Well, we're going to 4 cards. I'm just gonna keep lands. I think I'm gonna win this game, chat. I've never felt that good about a mulligan to 4, but I feel good about a mulligan to 4 in this deck exactly. No! Should I just get 4 lands? I thought about it. I don't feel like I'm gonna win anymore. Unless I draw Sorin next turn. If I draw Sorin next turn, I can win. Sneak and show. This is the Waste Not deck? Okay, so if we can get empty-handed here, the Waste Not deck doesn't really do anything. Sorin! Ah, dang. If only we didn't mulligan to 4, chat. Against the Waste Not deck. Gonna concede. I don't want him to know that I have Archfiend. Okay, so Duress is good. We can break each other down. They don't really search their deck, do they? They have a lot of blow up my lands, actually. Let's bring it in. Probably be annoying for them. Let's get rid of Fatal Push. Keep the bitters. I guess I don't need that many Duresses. I like most of my threats, so I'll just bring in the 1 Duress. I do like the Ashok, though, because of the lands and blow up lands. Lily triggers. Oh, yeah, you're right. So does Duress, though, right? I guess I can just get empty-handed. I think it's just a good card against him, and I'll just not use it. You know, let it be a edict, because they'll have Shieldred or something. And I cut Fatal Push. I don't want to be completely smushed against a shield. All right, on the plate. Opener is weak, but I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna play Mutavault first in case they Thoughtseize my Dust Legion Zealot. But I don't mind the Vein Rippers. They'll make my Thorns really good when I draw them. And they're very difficult for them to get rid of. Sunken Sigil on 1 is great news. Means we have a couple of shots to find Sorin. Another big threat here, an Archfiend. To dodge some of their sweepers as well, depending on what they brought in, if they brought anything. The rest is a big old whiffsky, bro. Big old whiffsky. Alright, Great Draw and Fable. We're going to go ahead and play that. Yeah, top deck, one of the best 3-drops in the game. Second best 3-drop in our deck. Fable the Mirror Breaker. What do you think, Scoot? Do you think Fable's better than Sorin in this deck? I really don't. It's weird. Like, I haven't seen, you know, a 3-drop that was better than Fable in a minute, and the Sorins really tick that box for me in this very cool way. They did not play a Fatal Push on Instep on the Goblin. Important to note. I think you should have put Sorin back last match and baited with the first one. What's up, Landfear? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. All right, so draw 2. Oh, wow. I think just no. Just no. Alright, we're gonna Sorin. We're gonna minus. We're gonna Vein Ripper. And then we're gonna Blood Crypt. And then we're gonna attack. They better kill some stuff now. Shoulder's Edict my Sorin. That's fine. Let's hope they don't have Extinction Events, chat. Extinction Event would be a bummer. But I can just play another Vein Ripper next turn. Regular Bank Buster. The old Bank Bussy. This dude is dead as shit. Alright, game 3, game 3. Game 3, game 3, game 3. I'm gonna hold on to the Archfiend until after they play a sweeper next turn. I'm sure they're gonna play the one that collects evidence, maybe. That one also exiles is important to note. I'll probably hold on to the Dust Legion Zealot as well. I just don't think there's a reason to play anything, so we won't. The only things that they can win with are like our sweepers. They don't have enough evidence in the yard. Well, the evidence only matters for exiling. It doesn't really matter for casting the spell and doing the main ability, which is exile creatures. The collect evidence is what rips all the cards out of the deck, I think, right? Unless it's the reverse of that, in which case that card should not be playable. Is destroy? I was positive that it exiled. I don't know what it's called. Alright. Waste Not. Do we want the duress on the draw, maybe, to take the Waste Not from them? And cut this Lily. Let's cut this Ashiok. This thing sucks. Sucks in the matchup. Doesn't suck in general. Deadly Cover-Up. That sounds right. Never stressed. It is Destroy. Wow. Okay. Thoughtseize me. Alright. Let's see if they take Thoughtseize. Falls down sometimes. Fine, it's okay. Good chance I take Sorin if they don't have another way to deal with it. Yeah, Sorin's very good, man. Alright, do I Thoughtseize here on one? The answer is probably yes. I just don't want to waste not coming down. Bitter Triumph for a Go Blank? We'll take the Go Blank. Bitter Triumph, just removal, baby. It's just removal, baby. They gave me an Urborg. That's super nice of them. How's it going, Alexander? Welcome. Alright, we'll go for Lily. I have a bunch of extra lands in my hand, and I can pressure their land / cards in hand. They do have Castle, which is a little awkward. I'm going to discard Sulfur Springs this time. Okay, that's fine too. Now we traded 2 for 2. And our Preacher could survive. Second red, probably not necessary, but maybe I should keep Sulfur Springs because of the Urborg. Gyrie Sanitarium's scary. Another guy reach. Okay, so now they can main phase the castle. Lily. Okay. We'll just pitch Bitter, and then we'll go double attack into the Lily when there are no cards in hand, and then we'll get Preacher online next turn. Loving the twos? Thanks. I have a very big playlist full of awesome songs that I like. Alright, so now it's castle time. Alright, let's go. Animate Mute Vaults, attack for 2. We'll put some pressure on them so every time they activate castle, it's painful. And they'll get the Preacher down. That's fine. That's way better for me than them drawing a card, and we get to get the Preacher down. They knew about the Preacher. That's okay. But now if when we attack with it, we get to draw cards. So let's cross fingers that they don't draw a removal spell. Blow Out of the Veil would probably be worst possible for me. Actually, it wouldn't be that bad because we have the Mutavault. Alright, we get to attack with both. Let's see what we draw. Well, we can't Vein Ripper this turn, so I think I'm okay going for the attack with Preacher. Preacher of the Schism. Powerful card. Way to push on the Mutavault's fine. It doesn't move me away from the Vein Ripper, but I think getting the potential damage in there is good, and they don't get to activate Castle again. Them looting would be great for me. I don't know why they would do this. Are you sure this is Vein Ripper and not Michael Jackson? Alright, well this is a little scary. The Preacher is not that bad here, honestly. I'm going to attack because we are going to be at more life. Oh, what a draw, chat. What a draw. What a draw. Opponent in shambles. Don't bring in the Lily Out of the Veil, they said. It works against their waist knots, they said. Waist knots. Alright, well, we're never going to take up that Lily unless we're empty. Alright, let's go ahead and play a Vein Ripper. And then we'll just attack and draw a card. Nice, Fable, cool. Now, if they draw Go Blank, it'd be a little awkward. Because they get a free card and a 2/2. And that could draw them into, like, land plus a way to kill Vein Ripper. Alright, well, we'll just give them a card in hand instead of a 2/2 so the Vein Ripper is safe. This game's over? I mean, yeah. The Shieldred was scary, but the Liliana draw was nice. Nice. But that's why we play it, right? And we don't give them the creature because of this exact thing, right? They could go plus thing. Rippa! Alright. Maybe we gotta go down to 3 Mutavaults chats. Alright, this hand's pretty good, though. So I guess we put back Blood Crypts, because we go Black Cleave, Hive. Yeah, we have a great curve here. If we knew the matchup, we might rather put back Fatal Push, but since we don't know the matchup, we'll hold on to it, and then we can always just discard it to Fable if they're Azorius Controller or Lotus Field. Manburn was terrible? Manburn never came up. Manburn was a flavor thing. They didn't want you to just, like, make 20 mana in the past turn or whatever. Like, they wanted to punish you if you couldn't use your mana, and I thought that that was a fine thing. It was weird on the engine, and it made it so that some cards just, like, couldn't be made. So, like, I get why they got rid of it, and, like, whenever they got rid of it, it was not like there was no upheaval from the community that was mad about it, you know? They were just like, oh, yeah, that's fine. People did get mad about removing damage on the stack, which I think is arguably a more egregious mechanic than mana burn, and I'm glad that they did. Made the game extremely difficult. All right, let's see what they do. If they just play a 2-drop, we'll use Blood Tide to kill it and play Fable, probably holding our Fatal Pushes for later. Hit District Legionnaire. I will just trade if they attack. Play Fable. Virtuoso. Do I want to discard anything? I'm going to attack. We can play Fable plus double push. Crib said, and Pulse of the Field. Yeah, Pulse of the Field was the opposite of Pulse of the Forge, right? Just straight up. Same but different. Same but opposites. Alright, so now I can go push. But I don't think I need to. Just gonna like pretend that I'm weak or whatever. Just wait, like they might go EOT Defiant Strike or something just to like use mana, and then we can really punish them. And I think the double Fatal Push at some point will just be good enough if I make them go first. Like if they go Defiant Strike here now with a bunch of mana up, I might just let them go for it. Wait for them to put like 20 power on this or whatever, and then I'll double push. Fight through God's willing. He started, he thought mana pooled and was actually mana pool, so I tapped my lands. Yeah, I think a lot of people did that, honestly. So you could like float a bunch and the next turn do a bigger thing. Alright, we'll offer the block. That way they are forced to act. And then we'll go push push, and then the game should be over. Alright, that's fine too. They basically know we have at least one push. And we know that they know that we have one push, so we're just kind of chilling. Alright, let's discard one land. I will activate Meat Vault, attack for 4. Attack for 4. Just keep putting pressure on them. Maybe should hold on to the land in case I wanted a blood token. You run ahead to Itsuku's second right. When Mirda and Kamigawa were standard, so my opponents would mana burn themselves to 9 after game 1. Yeah. That was fun. Hidetsugu's second right is wild. Alright, if they attack with this Tid District, I'll just take it. Homestead Courage. Okay. I'm okay blocking. I'll go for a double push on this now. This is like a little too much damage. So we're doing the full board trade. They have no creatures, 2 cards in hand. We're still at 20. And we get the Flip Fable, attack for 5. We can actually animate Mutavault and Hive. That's sick. Thanks all these treasures. I think it's good to go ahead and do it. We'll eat the Homestead Courage as well. Mana Burn with Death Shadow? Yeah, that'd be fun. Alright, so we do want lower to the ground things, but also the rest is good. And I think this is a matchup where we don't really need the Archfiend. We're going like full control mode. So we might even be able to go like minus a Vein Ripper as well, but maybe not. Maybe we actually board out Vein Ripper. Let's see, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe. You gotta treat this deck the same way you treat Infect, where you just like lower your curve, you're like max interactive. Lily on the Veil might actually be bad, but I think the Edict effect is great. And I think being able to pressure their hand is also great. Yeah, it's red, white, heroic. I do think the Sorins in general are okay, and Sorin minus on Vein Ripper is pretty cracked. Something like this. Do 2 Vein Ripper, 2 Sorin. We gotta physically win the game, so let's keep some stuff to win the game. But as you can see, once we clear the creatures, it's not that hard to win the game. But I think maybe going this direction is bad. We'll see. I'm not sure. This hand is weak. We're gonna mull. We just need things that cost 1 and 2 to interact. We'll keep this one, put back a Cavern. We can easily lose this game. We need to draw a 1-cost thing here to interact. Oh, no 1-drop from them is great news. Oh, wow. Thoughtseize is excellent. We can take one of their 2-drop creatures. So they got a lot of creatures that are annoying. We can take Monstrous Rage. We can take 10th District Legionnaire. And then the Monstrous Rage is not as good because of the Virtuoso. Could just say God's Willing. But if we go God's Willing, they'll play 10th District, we'll play Harvester, they'll go Monstrous Rage the Harvester and attack. And that's pretty bad. So I think I'll take 10th District. And then we're going to probably lose this game. Unless we draw like a significant amount of stuff that cost 1 and 2 over the next few draws. The rest is pretty good. I'm going to go Harvester. And now they can go God's Willing into Monstrous Rage and attack for 6. But they would lose a bunch of stuff, including the God's Willing. But they can have any of other buff spells and do something very similar. We'll just take the damage here. Oh, this is Monstrous Rage? I thought it was the other one. I thought it was Reckless Rage. That's my fault. Alright, let's duress and see what they do. If they only have God's Willing, they'll cast it. And then we're in trouble. I thought this was Reckless Rage, if I'm being real. I made a pretty huge mistake. Yeah, this is bad for me. Play another Harvester. And unfortunately, the God's Willing... I wish they had just not had anything to do. So we're going to take 6 from this at least. Nice. They didn't draw anything that killed us. Alright, so we'll block 1. We'll take a bunch. And now we can sack this to kill this. And then we have to deal with 2 creatures somehow. We need to basically draw Fatal Push so we can go Fable plus Fatal Push on the Virtuoso. Tough ass, though. Alright, we'll play Preacher. This does leave us dead on board, but they don't know that. And they might not attack, but they might not have an option because the Preacher is so strong. Alright, if I had realized that that card was what it was, I would have played differently. That was a mistake. I'm going to bring back in the Swords and the Vein Rippers. I'm not sold that they're bad. Especially the Sorin pluses to shoot something for 3. So... And maybe the Lilies are not that good. Maybe it's like 3 and 3. Yeah, I thought about using Blood. Blood into double... Like, I could maybe even Blood into double Fatal Push or Blood into Path of Peril. That would have been fine. Another Mana Screw hand. I think we got a mulligan this one. This one's a bit better. 3 Thoughtseize and a Bitter. I'm gonna put back a land, I think. We just don't need that many lands in our post-sideboard configuration. What kind of stream when? What's up, T-Spain? Thanks for the 58 months, homie. Sorry if I missed it. Appreciate you. Appleton says, Seth's Guidance, 2 Path, 1 Renny Volley, 1 Bitter, 1 Lily, 1 Cletus, 1 Trader, 1 Dress. Yeah, our list is not the same though, bud. Alright, so a bunch of junk. Just take all their creatures. That's what I like to do, just to leave them stranded. If they have creatures in play, we can take their things in hand that protect. Favorite Hoplite? Alright, we'll go ahead and just punt this dude while they're tapped out. Alright, they drew a Get Lost. I think I'll save the Thoughtseize. Uh-oh. See if they play their thing in response. Alright, we'll take... I guess we'll take Get Lost. I don't know. This is maybe bad. We might die. I'm at 11, so they get to go Defiant Strike. We're technically trading at the moment. What kind of champ's coming in May? Did they announce today? What's up, Cam? Yeah, Mondays. Mondays, am I right, gamers? Alright, Defiant Strike burned. See if they attack. I will gladly trade. Oh, no attack? That means we're in business? Woo! Harvester. I think I'm going to activate. They might not block if they have a thing. And I kind of want them to burn their things anyway. We'll play the Harvester. We have a chump blocker. Ah, we're going to get punked. Another Defiant Strike probably. Spike Field? Oof. Okay, that's fine actually because they don't cycle or pump their Virtuoso. That last card probably in hand is the land, or else they might have pumped their own Virtuoso with the Spike Field. With a free discard. Monstrous Rage. This is the one that I thought would be very bad if they drew. Alright, I'm just gonna take it, I guess. I don't know. Most things kill me anyway, even if I block. We didn't block. I don't know what... I mean... I guess they can God's Willing and miss, right? If they have God's Willing. Maybe that's the thing. Lauren's Escape. Okay, so they can miss. They hit. Damn it. Man. I probably play this game badly. I don't know, man. I don't know how to sideboard there. I got too many cards for the matchup. I will... I'm on the draw. I'm going to keep this very weak hand. Because I have mulligan to 5 and 4, like 4 times already. It's mostly just like one landers into no landers. Duress me. Yes! I love a good duress brick. I'm gonna play one Blood Crypt tapped. It can bite us if we draw like running Blackleaf Cliffs, but I think it's better. Plus, there's a good chance... I guess there's a good chance that this gets discarded anyway. There's some chance they have Fatal Push here, so I think I'm going to Dust Legion over Blood Tithe. Just to keep going. Keep churning. Look for the 3-drops that are good. Fatal Push is nice. Now if they... Okay, so they didn't even Fable. They know we have Archfiend. They know we have Cavern. I'll go Cavern Vampire, play Blood Tithe. We've drawn pretty well since our opener. Very happy about what's going on here. If they kill our Blood Tithe, that's fine. We'll hold up Fatal Push on our turn. We can always go Blood plus Push on their 4-drop if that's what they have. And they don't know about the Fatal Push at the moment. If they don't play anything, I'll probably still hold on to the Blood token so that I can have Shieldred answer. Alright, so they Vampired as well. They don't have a good answer to the Archfiend at the moment. That was a good draw. Let's go ahead and rip them. Here we go. Takanuma. Miss. Oh, they get Dust Legion. Okay, so they can go Dust Legion, then removal spell, but we can kill the Dust Legion in response to the ward ability, so we'll just wait. Because we also have Archfiend, so next time we can go land Archfiend plus, see what they do. When they go to kill the Vein Ripper, sacking. We'll kill their 1 creature. They have 2 creatures, we'll just let it happen probably. Maybe Fatal Push the smaller one, so they have to sack the bigger one or whatever. Alright, we're both just playing chicken here, so I'll just let the Thoughtseize resolve. I'll let them take push, and then I'll Archfiend them next turn. But now they have an answer to the Vein Ripper. Okay, well, they didn't. They took Archfiend instead. Maybe they're not aware of how the ward works. Which is strange, because they're playing the deck. Maybe they don't have the answer to the Vein Ripper, and they're just dead to the Archfiend. All right, so they did have it, and they just punted. Good news for me. Bad news for them. We're bringing some lilies. They give us a couple answers to the Vein Rippers. I don't love the duress because it can miss like it did there, and the discard in general, like the thought seizes are good because they can break up some of the late game stuff. But threats are usually better than answers. Maybe trim one fatal push. The chance of us messing up is the only way they can win. That's certainly possible. But they should have just taken the face up advantage or whatever, right? Face up answer. All right, we got a mulligan this one. I think I'm going to cut a Mutavault. I'm going to keep. I'm going to put back one of the two Thought Seizes. Got a nice little curvy, though. Nice little curve. The Bob, yeah, the Games of Comics Paradise is our sponsor, and they're a game store out of Fairfax, Virginia. Highly recommend. All right, so they got two Sorins, Vein Ripper. I guess we'll just take Vein Ripper. Sorin is good, but we can beat Sorin. Much harder to beat a Vein Ripper. I'm gonna play the Swamp so I don't deal myself damage. Alright, so if they play the Sorin here, curious what they're gonna do. If they minus and put in Vein Ripper, we're in a lot of trouble. Oh my god, really? Alright. Got a couple outs. That's not an out. Maybe we should have played Sorin plus and attacked their Sorin. But one of the ways we can beat a Vein Ripper is to play one of our own, so we're gonna pitch probably Fatal Push Mutavault next turn. Here's Swingy. Yeah, it seems like. We just have to take so much damage to be able to kill a Vein Ripper, right? They drain me for 2, drain me for 3, attack for 6, drain me for 2 more. 11, we're already at 5, so we go to 1 just to kill their Vein Ripper. It's so wild. That's why Vein Ripper's so good. It's like way more potential damage than it looks like or whatever. Alright, we'll go yes, discard. I'm gonna keep the Mutavault. We don't have enough time for this Fable in this cavern. Technically, we're not. I know we are dead. Technically dead. Okay, so we have to. We can't play the Sorin this turn, unless we're making a blocking Vein Ripper. Yeah, we had a couple outs, and even then, I don't think they were good outs. We had more than that too, because we can draw Vein Ripper to have a blocker, and if they kind of cancel out the other. All right, we're gonna keep this hand because we are invulnerable to duress, and I'm gonna play Mutavault first and plan on attacking on 2 when they play discard. This is something people forgot about. Just turn 1 Mutavault attack. Play Blackleaf on 3 probably. Mutavault on 4 draws. Duress proof. How about draw something to do this turn? I really don't want to. I don't want to animate Mutavault, and I don't want to do nothing. They didn't shock with Blood Crypt. Just say go. I think it's too disastrous to have them Fatal Push my Mutavault. Alright, don't go Sorin into Vein Ripper, please. Alright, well, I'm playing a vampire. Alright, we'll play Archfiend, and then just start putting pressure on them. They have to kill it. They have a way to kill it. If they have Fatal Push with the Blood Token. Alright, they're cracking the Blood Token. That's really good news for me. It means they might not have an answer to the Archfiend. It also means they don't have Blood Ties Harvester 3, 2, and 3 to then kill one of my Archfiends. They attack with Blood Tithe. I think blocking is right, but maybe not. Alright, let's see what you can do against the Archfiend. Archfiend is kind of just like more copies of Vein Ripper as well for the mirror. We just have like a bunch of big boys. Okay, here's the trick. I think I don't block. I think it's difficult for them to kill the Archfiend because they pop their blood token. Let's see what they do. If it's the mirror and if it's the true mirror and they just play Archfiend, maybe we're in trouble. Alright, let's attack with Archfiend. We'll play another Archfiend and then a Blood Crypt. And then we're threatening lethal and we'll just not block again. And hope that they don't draw away to turn on Fatal Push. Takanuma, okay. They missed. Good news for me. Channel a land and miss. What does the pre-combat Mutavault mean? It means that they didn't have another land, probably. Or that was 100% their land drop, and they just wanted to play it so they could stop thinking about it. People do things in bits and pieces instead of figuring everything out at once. Even if they have an answer for one of these Archfiends, we can fire up the Mutavaults next turn to get them both in, and then we have Hives going the turn after. So I think our opponent is in deep dookies. What do you think about the Archfiend in general? I've literally never seen one kill the pilot. I've never seen one kill the pilot. So it's just a 4-cost 6/6 trample. Or 4-cost 6/6 flyer with upside or whatever. I've never seen it kill someone. Like, never seen it die to oil counters. This might be a desperation throw Sorin at you. So if we block, it deals 4 down to 8. But this turns on double Fatal Push. We'll just take it. But they can go Sorin plus sack double Fatal Push. They go to 8, then they go to 11. Alright, so they're going to throw 3 at me. They take 4 damage. And then they Fatal Push 1. They could have killed both if they have a Fatal Push. If I block. So I think not blocking is still correct. Now knowing, having more info or whatever. Nothing in graveyard matters for Hive, which is nice. Alright, I'll just put him to 1. I don't know why they conceded. Okay. Alright, we have a great opener. Let's hope that we draw a land. Would love to draw a Thoughtseize into land. Would be ideal. At least I assume this is my friend Anderson. Den of the Bugbear. Uh-oh. Goblins? Maybe it's not. Ooh. Not a good spot to be in. Needing cards off the top of the deck. Fable on top, also not good look. It might be Leclerc. That's who I think it is, but they're not responding to my chats. And I would not think that they'd be playing Pioneer on a Monday, playing Mono Red Goblins. That's just off the ripper. Alright, Prospector. Alright, let's go. And this should basically end the game. Keeping the one lander, not drawing the land happens. We're getting a gift of a 5th match in terms of that game anyway. So now I am thinking that we might want Leyline of the Void. Might sound weird, but they have a lot of die triggers, but I think not. We're going to cut the Duress, bring in Path of Peril. Preacher's good. Archfiend's good. Dust Legion doesn't block that well, but it is more food for Sorin, and it keeps our curve low. But maybe we can trim one. And then maybe we can trim Archfiend. Yeah. I mean, turn 3 Sorin minus into the big boy is game over in most matchups. And it isn't certainly true against goblins. Alright, we'll keep this one. We'll put back the rip out since we got some sweepers and some removal. Just hope that we don't get ran over. Thoughtseize you. Interesting. So now that they know about both of the Path of Perils, it's going to be a lot harder for me to get full value out of them. My guess is they'll take 1. Now I wish I had Zealots in my deck. They're going to be Thoughtseizing me after board. Yeah, but sometimes you need black and red, and I haven't really had it be that big of a deal. Fireblade Charger. A couple of them. He's not bringing in Thoughtseize in the matchup. I mean, maybe it's just something they're trying. I'm never going to fault anyone for trying something in the league. Even if you think it's the wrong play, it's just worth experimenting to see if like you need to bend space and time to win a matchup. I will take the 2 from the Fireblade Chargers. If they go for any buff effects of any kind, I have pushes at the ready, but seems unnecessary. Thoughtseize, okay. I still think I want to wait on the path, or on the fatal pushes, even if they take the path. Yeah, Thoughtseize taking away your Wrath effect or taking away your Ripper Sorin. Taking away your Sorin and leaving Ripper is gross. Alright, Battlecry Goblin will definitely push that one EOT. I'm gonna try real hard not to kill these Fireblade Chargers because they're so weak. Alright, we'll take a 2-hit from these, and when they play one more creature, we'll pass those. Hopefully they don't play a 3-drop. Alright, they didn't play Ringleader. Land would be great. I'll play Archfiend, and now we'll get some serious brain damage going. Deal 2 to the face with our paths. This is why we don't kill the Fireblades if we can help it. Go for the throat rip. Alright, well, we'll hopefully get some more value out of this Path of Peril now. Take the 2. This whenever it dies. Yeah. Wrong song. Do another Archfiend. We'll get that one down. I want to try to turn the corner as quickly as possible, and the Archfiend definitely helps. And the Fatal Pushes on the Fireblade are unnecessary. Then the Bugbear. That's good. We have an answer for it, so it's gonna still impossible for him to race. No, 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 not another removal. No attacks. Okay. All right, so let's attack for 6. There's no way they have removal, or they would have killed an attack for 2. Right? Right? All right, attack for 6. Heartless Act? Dude, if they Heartless Act me, I'm gonna be sad. I'll be like, well, that's justice. And then I'll just side them out. Like, I can't be losing to that cheesy shit. Third Path of Peril, gotta be a big sad for them. They get to deal 2 to the Archfiend if they have a way to deal 4 or 5 to it. But they take some damage here as well. They know about the Fatal Push. They put me to 10, but I have most of their haste creatures covered, and they have to kill this Archfiend next turn or they're dead. I'm gonna hold on to the Blood Crypt in case I draw Fable or Blood Token Generator. Snoop. Top cards of the land. That should be game. GG. All right, 4-1. 4-1 with Rakdos Vampires. Thanks, Uzis, for the follow. All right, so here's where I'm at. The 4th Mutavault seems like a lot. I think I'm going to turn a Mutavault for a 3rd Blightstep pathway. The 2 Cavern of Souls have been solid, but I think we just need like one more colored source of mana. You can also make an argument to play 1 Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth to make Cavern of Souls and Mutavault tap for black mana. I honestly think that might be better than the 3rd Swamp. The 3rd Swamp does seem superfluous most of the time, but there are matchups where your opponent will grind you out by blowing up your lands, and you needing those basics to help out is pretty nice. The 6 creature lands have been solid, but again, the Mutavault's a little rough. Maybe it's a Mutavault for a Den of the Bugbear or another Hive, but I doubt it. I think it's just minus a Mutavault for plus a Blightstep. By doing that, we may want another vampire in the deck as well. So maybe we just add the 4th Dust Legion Zealot back. That might mean moving the Duress to the sideboard. I've actually not been super stoked about the Duress in the last week. A lot of people are just being creature dense, and the Duress does miss. Our opponent cast Duress against us in the mirror 3 times, I think, over the course of the 5 matches, and they missed multiple times with Duress. At least twice they missed with Duress. But I also kept hands that were intentionally bad for a Duress so that my opponent's Duresses would be bad. Yeah, I mean, maybe the Urborg helps our opponents more than us, but I do like the pathway over a Mutavault. I think that we just had too many hands that were double Mutavault, and I think just having another dual land would be nice. Archfiend of the Dross was excellent. It was never bad. I kind of want to go up to 4. The Sorins were worse in this build because we're not all in on the Preacher of the Schism as our 3-drop. and we only have 3 Dust Legion instead of 4. This one is a little bit more like Seth's build instead of Sam's build from the top 8. I like the 3 Path of Peril on the board. They were excellent. I don't know that we need the 3rd Duress. Maybe it's just 1 main Duress, 1 board Duress. The Ashiok in conjunction with the Ley Lines feels like a little too much, as well as with the Grafdigger's Cage. I think we probably just have a little too much anti-graveyard. The 2 Damning Spheres, I think, are great for Lotus Field, since Lotus Field is a tough one sometimes. And the 2 Damning Sphere plus 1 Ashiok coming in against Lotus Field, as well as Duress and Lily. I think that's even too many cards, because we're really only boarding out Fatal Push and Triumph, and we only have 6 slots. And I guess you can make an argument to board out some Preachers because they're a little slow. But everything else seems pretty solid. Deck looks really clean. Very strong strategy and something that you need to be prepared to beat. I think that we're going to be looking for big edicts coming up soon. I think Shieldred's Edict in general is really good right now, and it's possible that Shieldred's Edict should be in this main deck, because we can kind of clear out other things from our opponent, and then we can use the Edict to kill Vein Ripper. I don't like playing the 3 mana edicts that edict the Vein Ripper specifically. I think they're just a little too expensive. But I do like the Liliana the Veils on the board. I thought that they were quite awesome in some spots. But yeah, that's all I got for Rakdos Vampires. This has been Tandy. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Apex Gaming out of Caldwell, Ohio is a game store focusing on a tournament series. You can check out apexgaming.gg for more info, but we're starting Season 4 on April the 13th weekend. I'll be in the booth with Ross Marion bringing you coverage of a team tournament, a team open with $5,000 in cash and prizes on the line. Make sure to check out Apex Gaming's suite of tournaments coming up in the next few months as we do our Apex Invitational series. Check out Moxfield. Moxfield.com is a deck building website that we use here on the channel. You can check out my Moxfield page specifically with !deck or deck list in chat, and that'll take you to my Moxfield. But it's a great place to create and share decks with your friends. There's a lot of ways to tune, share images, things like that. Make sure to check out moxfield.com today. And then lastly, thanks so much to our big time sponsor, Games and Comics Pair O Dice out of Fairfax, Virginia. You can check out their website at gcpairodice.com and get anything you need for collectible card games, from Lorcana to Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. They got everything you need, from sleeves, dice, all that good stuff, and singles as well. gcpairodice.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tandy. Check out my Patreon for written content, patreon.com/Tandy. We'll see you next time.